Let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. Alright, so in my last video, we were looking at this falling wedge, something like this. We broke to the upside right here. We were targeting this previous resistance right here and this previous resistance right here. We came up, hit both of those targets pretty much and broke through the second one. So what I was saying in my last one is I want to see us break out of this Fibonacci and get a higher high. So we did that, and now what I'm looking at is targeting this previous resistances over here. So we have one right here and one right here. These are sitting at 59,000 and approximately 64,000. Since we broke out of this Fibonacci retracement, we can pretty much delete that. Let's go ahead and delete this one and delete this one as well, and I think delete this one. Basically, we're watching this uptrend going something like this on the daily time frame. Until we break this uptrend going to the downside, I'm assuming that we're in an uptrend and I'm going to target these previous resistance levels. If we jump over the Bitcoin dominance chart, I was looking at this rising wedge pattern, something like this. I was looking at a breakout right here. What I was doing is targeting from the top to the bottom of this little wedge pattern, drag that to the breakout, and I was looking at a target of around 44.45, something like that, or this previous resistance. It looks like we're coming up right on that previous resistance right now. Let's see if we could break out of this zone and go start to head towards this zone and maybe even this zone. Like I was saying, if we can, I think if we can break out of this one, then we might be looking at those higher targets on Bitcoin chart. In general, if this chart is moving up, Bitcoin is the coin that you're going to want to be looking at. Let's jump over to the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. Alright, so I've been looking at this chart on my Ethereum videos. We've been having this big, huge up run, something like this. We had an uptrend with this support right here, this support right here, this support right here. It looks like we look like we were testing it for a while right there, and it looks like we finally got a break to the downside pretty much. It looks like we're getting a nice little red candle. I'm curious how far this is going to trend down. Basically, if this is going down, if this chart is going down, that's good for Bitcoin, and if this chart is going up, that's good for Ethereum. What I'll be looking at now, since we broke this uptrend right here, or since we're breaking to the downside, is I'll be looking for previous support levels. So we can maybe even drag this trend line out a little bit more, maybe something like that. It's possible that we'll come down a little bit and get support right here and then get a bounce possibly. In general though, what I'm watching is this resistance right here, and resistance right here, giving me this downtrend going something like this. We can drag this trend line going a little farther out now, and until we break this trend line going to the upside, then I'm going to assume that Bitcoin is going to be doing better than Ethereum, and this is in a downtrend. I think once we hit these trend lines though, maybe we can start looking at Ethereum more, and maybe it'll get support, maybe it'll get a bounce out of this little pattern. I don't know, it might break to the downside still. We might have to come down and retest this trend line as well. We're gonna have to wait and see where we get a bounce, so we could either look for a good bounce or we could look for a breakout of this trend line, something like that. Let's jump over the total crypto market cap. So we've been looking at in my videos is this downtrend right here. We broke that downtrend going to the upside. What I was doing is targeting these previous resistances, pretty much like I've been talking about on Bitcoin. We came up, hit that target, and now it looks like we actually came up and touched this target right here. We got a wick up right here and actually did touch this target. I'm still watching this uptrend going something like this. We actually did break that as well, but we got support on it and it looks like we're still trending up. So right now it's kind of confusing what's going on. I mean, we are in this uptrend, we are in still this clear uptrend right here, but we also are coming up on these previous resistance levels. We actually did come up and got some resistance. What I've been saying too is that we have resistance right here and we have resistance right here. So let's draw that trend line again from here to here. So yeah, you can see that we got resistance right on that level. Let's see if we could break out of this trend line right here. I talked about this on my last video. I think if we could break out of this trend line really right here with some clear like close above it and get some candles above it and start really heading up, I think we're gonna get a big huge move. And I was thinking maybe we might be in like some sort of triangle pattern, or I mean, I don't know what it is, maybe something like this, but I was thinking maybe targeting from the top to the bottom, maybe somewhere right here. I think it was. It almost kind of looks like a cup and handle now that I look at it, but this would be the target for the cup and handle. We would drag that to the breakout, something like this. I just saw this right now. Wow, this looks like a cup, and then this looks like a handle. I just got goosebumps. Wow. And then we got channel pattern, something like this. it goes like that. I mean, this is basically what a cup and handle is. A cup and handle is a cup pattern, something like this, and then after the cup you get a down channel, something like that. Once we break that right there with some volume, once we break this trend line right here, we target from the top to the bottom of the cup. Then we could drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately, let's move this other target, we're looking at a target of approximately 3.056 trillion. I just saw that right now. I was kind of looking at like sort of like a triangle pattern, but it didn't look perfect. But then I saw that we have this cup and then this like kind of channel pattern after that. That's very interesting. So I'll be keeping my eye on that, and let's see if that plays out. So yeah, let's see if we could target to 3.05 trillion after, or if and after we can break through this trend line right here. We still got from where we are right now to this target is 33%, or roughly. So yeah, if we, like I was saying, if we could break out of this thing, I think it's going to be pretty good. But that's just my opinion, and this is just what I'm kind of looking at. Okay, so if we go back to Bitcoin, I'll be looking at these previous resistances around 59,000 and around 64,000, something like that. Hopefully we can get up to these targets. I'll be watching the Bitcoin dominance chart and the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. I think those two charts are really gonna tell us or give us clues on what's gonna happen with Bitcoin and Ethereum, or who's basically in charge right now. And it looks like Bitcoin's kind of taking over for right now. Alright, if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button and check out the links in the description to stay up to date.